Hey, Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's P to Z up on the mic. Hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry and subscribe and like if you can, please. Or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.
So I usually have the thing up.
I muted mine, but maybe mine was picking up because I did mute, but maybe right at the beginning.
Yeah, no, because I usually stop it as soon as we go live, just so I can have the chat up. But I messed up this time.
Yeah, we are. Hello everyone. We've been gone for like 4 weeks, and yet we still had a technical issue right there, a little blip in the beginning. But it's normal,
which makes Chris's shirt appropriate.
I am the shit show supervisor. So
it wouldn't be our podcast without a technical difficulty.
Of course.
I feel like we need some kind of like Beauty and the Beast slogan, like when there's technical difficulties, you're home. Or something, you know what I mean? Some stupid shit that we can.
Home of the technical difficulties.
Yeah, absolutely. Something like that. Yeah.
Circa whatever the fuck year.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast now hiring shit show supervisor.
Can you get us those shirts, please?
I can have these made, sure. Yeah. I just realized I keep grabbing my breast.
Why are you touching your?
I don't know. I
your
breasticles. My breasticles.
Your breasticles.
My moobs.
Your moobs.
My man boobs.
Your mitts.
Man
tits.
Yeah, you do the rock, where
That's why I could never be female.
Hey. I feel like Terry Crews right now.
The entire day.
Weird looking because you're like my brother, so it feels weird.
It might be. I don't know. Can you see it in this shirt? You can see it in this shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Terry Crews, come on.
No, the shirt would be off.
But
yeah.
Look on his face.
I was doing like beats with it. You gotta be like, beatbox with it.
It's gonna be an hour of Chris doing his best Terry Crews impression.
Yeah.
He's gonna start. That's what OnlyFans are for, bro. Like,
For free.
Yeah, Mitchell, 22 more days, Mitch. Very nice.
Yes.
It's gonna be a good time. Renee, you have something you want to get out in the open?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to just share. I share this every podcast. So we are doing camp this year on May 25th. We are doing our Camp Cares outreach. So I'm just kind of plugging that again, just getting that out there for people that don't know. We are going to go downtown Atlanta on City Hall property, and we're going to be, handing out food and clothing and all these things to the homeless population. We are partnering with the city of Atlanta, and then we've got a whole bunch of other sponsors like Coca-Cola and we have a whole list of local people, even Two Boys Barbecue, Refuge Coffee, $5 Bakery, Visit Peachtree City, and then we've got shower facilities coming. We're going to be doing haircuts. We're going to be doing. They've got medical personnel that are coming to do some different things. I'm not exactly sure what's all going on with that, but it's going to be this big outreach to just help those people, and it's amazing because you cannot believe the amount of stuff that we've had donated, either money or stuff people have purchased.
Right.
I've already taken a load in Josh's truck up to Atlanta. I had to drop it off already because I'm not gonna be able to take it in my mini to the day of. And I've got another 8 boxes of clothes just for delivered today. So it's just one of those things where it's like this has been our Walking Dead family who have supported this. Yeah. And they've donated their time, their money, it's just unbelievable the outpouring of support for our first event, and we're just so grateful for all of that. If you haven't been able to donate and you would like to, the link is in the description underneath the YouTube video here, so you can help if you'd like. We are going to do another event in the fall, so there's opportunity later if you're not able to now. We are going to try to do, make this an annual thing where we're doing this hopefully twice a year. So I just wanted to put the plug out there and just thank everybody for all their support because it's just amazing how much. I think we probably tallied it I think they were saying like $8,500 worth of money and stuff that has gone
Okay.
into this.
That's
And
crazy.
I'm sure it's been more than that. Yeah, I think
Wow.
it's been, because I know there's a lot of people
Yeah.
who have probably done other things that they haven't counted towards that total.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just been amazing. And I know the auction at the camp, the proceeds of the auction at the camp will go towards the next event for this as well. So
Wow.
anyway, so yeah, just wanted to push our plug out for that and thank everybody for all their support. So
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I just love that you guys are all doing that. I so wish I could be part of it.
yeah.
That's Thursday, right? Thursday before?
Yeah, it'll be Thursday 11. Yeah, 11 to 4. 11 to 4
Yep.
will be there. Yeah. So
I see the schedules keep popping up on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, look, there's Renee. I know that person. I know that person.
Yeah, there's a lot of familiar names on that list. Our group that a lot of people do come in early. A lot of them come in on Tuesday, even because they make this kind of their the camp week is a part of their vacation. They do every year, and they go to Sonoy and they go visit a lot of the filming sites and things. And so that's why we just kind of incorporated that week because
Right.
we've got all hands on deck. So yeah, it's a good time to do it. To have all the. I think we had at one point I think the volunteer count was 50 some people. So
I saw that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just amazing. And everybody they kind of assign time slots, and people are like, "Well, can you come for the whole day?" Absolutely, you can come the whole
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So it's just been wonderful. So
I mean,
we
it's
just-
5 hours, you could use all hands on deck for as much as you
Exactly.
can. So
yeah, there'll be something to do for everybody, and
Yeah.
it'll just be So anyway, that's all I had to say about that.
I mean, like Renee said, it's a
And when we're done, of course.
I'm done.
Oh, no, I interrupted Brian.
no. You're good. No, I was just gonna say that, like Renee said, it's a very cool way to give back to a city that's given us so much. Whether they realize it or not, they have.
100%.
yeah, I mean, you go through Facebook, any one of the camp pages or volunteer pages, and I mean, people. I saw, I forgot what it was, but somebody posted a picture of this huge amount of whatever they bought. I think it was Harlan.
Yeah, he had gotten I think tuna packs and then granola
It was like-
bars, and he
It was like 200 and something things of tuna, and I was just like, holy crap, okay.
The stuff that we took to so we have a storage facility in Peachtree City. So Casey
Yes.
gave me the lock number and all that. So I go down there, open it up. It's full of the camp equipment and water because Niagara donated 1,200 bottles of water plus whatever else was in there. Josh and I had to rent another. Well, the camp had to rent another 5x5 storage unit to fit the stuff in.
Wow.
And right now, I think what I have here at the house, even that's already been delivered again, my mini is going to be completely full.
That's great.
Plus, and then other people have their vehicles they're bringing that's going to be completely full. I mean, we
Yeah.
just have so much food, tons of clothing. We've bought, socks and shorts and undies and, just all these things with the money that people have given. We've, been able to purchase a lot of clothing that we'll be able to pass out. So, they'll be able to get a shower and put on clean clothes and get a haircut and, so
Okay.
And so, Renee, knowing your history with your background, I think it's safe to say I know what you're doing that day.
well, hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah.
There's other people that are doing that also. We're trying to get some barber colleges to maybe come help too. So
There you go.
Yeah, because they need their hours.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, they're like the beautician schools or whatever. Who knows? Yeah. Eric says I'll be at work down the street from y'all during that time, but I can probably come help during my lunch.
oh, yeah, we would love it.
I
At
mean,
least stop and say hey if nothing else.
I
yeah.
can't wait to see all the photos from that day. It's going to be such an amazing event.
Yeah. So so we're excited.
And you guys, of course, I mean, I'm always gonna, I'm sure Ryan might even have had this thought in his head too, but I'm sure you guys will have security there for you as well.
Yes,
Yes.
we do. We have the local, and then we've got Blaze and his crew coming
Right.
down to Dustin and everybody. They're all coming with us as
Very
well. So we
cool.
will be. Yep. We've
Well
got that
protected.
covered.
Okay.
You are so in safe hands.
Yeah.
We are.
Like, danger isn't even a thought.
It's like one of the I gotta say, like, for me, like one of the the biggest thing, I mean, besides being with everybody, one of the things that I get was so excited to see is opening up Dustin's room and seeing just guns and ammo all over the place.
Over the countertops.
And then his Jeep, just get inside of his Jeep and there's more guns and ammo all over the place. I just get all giddy and shit. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Well, it's like when
If we
Dustin
have
asked
those
us.
hits, guess where we're going?
Yeah, yeah.
Go to Dustin.
Dustin was like, "Y'all want to hold it?" I was
Yeah.
like, that's what she said, but yes, I do.
That's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it's a good time. Well, let's so of course today is May 4th. We wanted to do the Star Wars edition, but we're basically just because it is to me. I call it like the geekiest day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, May the 4th be with you. I mean, I don't think there is a geekier day you can even think of.
And also with you.
And also with you. And also with you. So I figured it'd be fun just to get together, do a little something, and talk about. I know there's a new trailer out that came out, right, Renee, that you posted? Is that for Dead City, right?
Dead City, just a little teaser. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a 30-second teaser, but it was a new teaser for Dead City. So
Okay. So we can
just showing that Maggie and Negan, the truce that they had declared in season 11 is over.
Yeah, right.
Teaser was good.
It was very good, yeah. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. That will premiere on AMC June 18th. It's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern because it's going to come right after Fear the Walking Dead. It'll be the mid-season 8 finale. So you'll see Fear the Walking Dead and then go right into Dead City.
Very nice. Carrie Fisher got her star
Yes,
today.
Start today, yeah.
Okay.
My friend was actually there. He got to meet Billy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I don't know if you guys saw the photos of it, but Billy's. I saw the selfie with him and Billy, and I saw the top of her dress, and then I saw a full length. The top of her dress looked normal from like the waist down. It was a mural of Carrie in her Star Wars outfit.
Wow. That's cool.
I shed a tear. It was so beautiful.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So I'm kind of gonna put a little spin on things here, because we all watch TV, we all watch movies, and we're all living like a world that is changing drastically. So as like a kind of like a fun little thing, I figured I was gonna come up. We were able to come up with. I think I have 7 now, and I know. I mean, obviously there's a shit ton, but to go through the times and see how much TV has changed, how much the culture has changed, cancel culture, you name it. I thought it'd be fun to talk about shows that if they were to air today, would probably not make it. Maybe through one season, but after that would probably be canceled. If you guys are in a chat, you want to throw something out there too. If it's something, obviously, like I said, I have seven here that, to go through. But if there's a show, or even if you were to go to like stand-up comedians, could you imagine George Carlin or, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison, could you imagine any one of these stand-ups trying to survive in today's?
Even like early 2000s, Dane Cook was pretty good.
Dane Cook. So one of those comedians had a TV show, did the Dave Chappelle show.
Yep.
And that show, Dave Chappelle. Well, South Park is still alive and kicking.
But if it premiered now...
Oh, yeah. If it premiered now, yeah. But South Park is at 24?
24.
24, yeah, right?
Yeah, 24 seasons.
24 seasons.
Give or take.
So, it's just...
Even OG Family Guy was kind of the same way. That you could, if you go back and watch it, Quagmire, right? He was so much worse than he was. There was an episode early on where he's sitting in a hot tub, and the girl drinks a thing of champagne after he clearly put a roofie in it, and she knocked out, and you see him dragging her body, and he looks at the camera, and he drops her foot, and he's like, oh, hey. And it's but if you go back and watch him now, he's so much more tame than he used to be.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
We, Mitchell also says Shameless, which I can, Shameless touched a lot of topics, man. I mean, I don't know. I think Shameless would actually
become a little more progressive.
I think it could definitely be
I think it could make it. Show. That's gray area.
Yeah.
Because alcoholism, drugs and addiction, stealing people's, what the hell was he taking? People's Social Security money out of the mail, living, people still do that shit. It's like a daily crime.
Jesus Christ, even SpongeBob, you're gonna miss the panty raid. You know what I mean? Stupid shit like that. It probably wouldn't be in the show nowadays. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sandy wouldn't be known as Sandy Cheeks because, you know what I mean? let's all we all know what the definition of sandy cheeks really is.
It wouldn't be bikini bottom, be swimsuit bottom.
Yeah, exactly. It would have to be like,
Is it bad as soon as it said Sandy Cheeks, the first word that popped in my head was clap?
That's gotta be your inner gamer.
Anthony just popped in.
The shit talking.
We got Anthony in the chat. What's up, Ant? How's it going? Let me see.
And Pi brought up a great point.
What's that?
The British comedian Jimmy Carr. He's fucking funny,
I've heard of him.
but he is.
Oh wait,
he's got some hot takes.
Is he the one who did? He's not the one who did the what was it, Golden Globes or whatever it was,
No,
the Emmy.
no.
Yes, he's vicious.
I can't stand him.
Yeah, but he is vicious. Like
He is, absolutely.
And okay, so yeah, we're doing a little just a little geek out, man. May the 4th.
Honestly, it's been a while since we did a show, and
Yeah.
we just said, you know what, let's get together and
So
just talk about shit.
the first show, which many people might not, I know you guys, as soon as I said it, picked up on it, but it was a show based out in the 1970s, and it was called All in the Family with Archie and Edith Bunker. That show, replayed for the longest time on I think it replayed on Nick at Night.
It was on TV Land for a
TV
while.
Land,
Yeah.
but you want to talk about a show that just would. I mean, even for the 70s, I mean, when it was blatant racism.
Yeah.
I mean, blatant. So it's it is an old show. Pi. I mean, look, you could go on YouTube and find it if you really ever wanted to venture that way. But
Is it? I know it's. I think Married with Children is on Hulu.
yeah,
I don't know about All in the Family though.
Mm-mm. I don't.
I know there's an app called TV Classic or something.
Yeah,
like
there's
Yeah.
like
Oh, okay.
like that.
Yeah.
So it originally aired from 1971 to 1979.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Anthony says he had the wonderful pleasure of meeting Carol O'Connor. Okay, that's sweet. Yeah. Yeah. It's.
And I always think it's hilarious because Meathead is Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
Which I always, because he's very, he's quite liberal and things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and which he was in the show too.
Yeah.
He was always the one taking the brunt of the jokes and things.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was extra.
Oh,
I
that's
was an extra in
Night.
Heat of the Night.
That's very cool.
That's very cool, Anthony. Anthony dropping some tidbits.
yeah.
The next one is I mentioned before, but Dave Chappelle show. That show was, to me, I kind of feel bad because growing up in my time and era, I feel like personally, I got to enjoy and be able to watch and listen to some of the best comedians that were ever, a part of our time. I mean, there's guys like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. I mean, there's people out there that's still doing it. And, Sebastian Maniscalco. There's a lot of people out there that are funny and doing it. But there was a certain type of just raw comedy where talking about racism and laughing about racism and everything was about race, but it was a joke. You look at what Dave Chappelle did. He used to have something. He did the episode where it's called the race draft.
Oh yeah.
Where different races would draft. I think it was one where he was talking about it was Tiger Woods, and the Asians were able to draft Tiger Woods back to their side. Our side. And there's stuff like that it just would not. It wouldn't make it today. It would just be too. And I mean, he's still doing stand up, and I mean, he's got a lot of shows on Netflix that have dropped recently in the past.
Kind of like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. One show that we're rewatching right now. Gabby gave me this one. She said The Sopranos. I mean, that show would not make it. I don't think past season 1.
Enough to make a
or
seller
2.
blush.
I mean, yeah, it might make it past season 1 and then get into 2 and then just drop completely. It's
a great show, though.
It is. I mean, it's playing in the background. It's just, the culture of it, mafia, everything. Just obviously, like everything else with the mafia is involved, you got death and you have drugs and you have,
I mean, at the end of the day, comedy specifically, there's certain forms of comedy that are supposed to be offensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're supposed to make.
But that's what makes it
it's
fun.
It's supposed to be an escape from reality.
Sure.
You're not going to a comedy show to be slapped in the face with reality when you could turn on Channel 5 and watch the news and they'll do the same thing to you. Comedy shows are meant to be an escape from your reality.
Mm-hmm.
And comedians would make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't, you know what I mean? There was no demographic, no
right.
anything that they didn't make fun of.
Yep.
It wasn't like they were singling out somebody or some group. They were just, yeah.
I mean, Andrew Dice Clay, for God's sakes. I mean, that guy you couldn't get any more vivid and, gross than, some of the shit that he would, he would take nursery rhymes and literally turn them into everything, but it was just.
There's a comedian I found via TikTok, and his name is Nate Jackson. And I highly recommend that everybody look him up because he's fucking hysterical.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm sitting there watching it, and there's a thing, and he's not like he does stand up comedy, but he does a lot of crowd work. He doesn't do sets; he does crowd work. And
is he a young kid?
He's kind of like probably like late 30s, a little bit heavy set black guy.
No, okay, no.
Oh, I know who you're thinking of Matt Wright.
Matt Wright, you're thinking
Matt
Wright.
Young kid, and he does
love Matt
crowd stuff, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, and Nate Jackson is very similar to Matt Rife in that. And there was one he posted the other day, and he posts like 3-4 minute clips, so you can sit there and actually watch it. It's not like a 50-second clip and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But he did one where like there was like this Asian girl is sitting in the front, and he basically assumed that she was Vietnamese and like started like saying things like phrases in Vietnamese that he knew.
Mm-hmm.
She turned out to be Vietnamese. But, like, the first thing I could think of was, like, God forbid she wasn't. Like,
right.
People could be offended by that. But she took it like a sport. She was, like, really funny. And he started, like, getting into, like, stereotypes about Vietnamese parents and blah, and things like that. And he's like, oh, what were you hit with, a pot or spoon? You know what I mean? As a kid. And she was like, spoon, you know what I mean? And it was funny because she could have very easily taken offense to it.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't. She was a great sport about it, and she you could tell she was having a great time. She was laughing, and the whole crowd loved it. And he picks on everybody. I mean, he picks on Asian people, he picks up on Hispanic people, he picks on black people, white people. It doesn't matter. He picks on everybody. Yeah. And I highly recommend it because he's actually one of my favorite comedians right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I grew up in like locker rooms because I played sports. I played, semi-pro football, wrestling, like when you're in like diversified fields like that, sports or work, like we had one of the most diversified security departments ever at the job we worked together at the hospital. And if you didn't have a sense of humor, you were not making it.
Yeah.
Because we used to literally pick on each other. It was like open game on everything and everyone. But we all laughed because we know we're not hurting anybody, we're not harming anyone. The people you're around, So and growing up in that kind of atmosphere is what like carries over and it just makes you laugh. Like dark humor is real for me. I love dark humor. Like I can laugh at that shit all day. It's just,
and I think to Chris's point too, and Gabby's over there, so I'm sure she can vouch for us too. But we work primarily in the ER, and we saw some really fucked up shit. I mean, I've seen people of all ages, all creeds, all nationalities, all ethnicities.
Yeah,
I've seen people of literally every age die,
and there is not one better than the other. You see the worst of the worst, no matter what you are. I mean,
I'll never forget something that really kind of like fucked me up was that my sister was 16, and I knew that day that she was going for her permit test for her license, her driver's license, and he and I were working, and something that happens around here is that we have a lot of high schools, we have a lot of colleges. You know, the area we live in, it's considered technically a college town because there's 3 primary colleges that we have in our town. And I was in the ER, and it was towards the end of our shift. We're getting ready to leave at 4:00, and we get a level 1 trauma coming in, which is like bad. You know, the levels of trauma that's the most severe. And so I'm at the ambulance bay, and they're bringing in like three teenage patients. And so what happened was there's 3 kids in the car. They were graduating that weekend. They were graduating that week from high school, and they decided to go on the 𝐁𝐞𝐚𝐳𝐭𝐬 State Parkway, which is one of our major thoroughfares for New York State.
A very outdated roadway.
And very narrow.
Very narrow.
The most dangerous highway in New York City.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous highway in New York State.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cliff faces that are like that you run along, so it's very windy, it's not straight, it's bad, it's dangerous. I don't remember how fast the state trooper said that they were going, but they were going fast enough that it killed the driver on impact with the wall. And this is a kid that was the same age as my sister. And I had to actually walk outside because that's how much it bothered me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's funny because my sister called me, and once I heard that she was okay, I felt better. But I had to alleviate it with some humor, and I said, if you ever do anything like that, I will revive you just to kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm sorry if my humor bothered her, but in the moment, that's how I had to cope with it.
Right. Yeah.
If we didn't have those sense of humors with our coworkers, we would have crumbled a lot faster.
If in environments like that, like the place that I'm at now, which is another healthcare facility, I straight up told them, like, these are people that I just met within the past week. If I will laugh and smile and make jokes about everything just because it gets you through the day. Because if I let all the bullshit stack on top and I walk around with a miserable frown on my face or I'm disgruntled, what is it? No, I will laugh shit off all day long, right out the door, into my car, to my house. You know, like, it's just, I don't got time for none of that shit. So, you know, and dark humor just, it gets me by.
That's how we survive.
Yeah. I know Mitchell posted this. I know Anthony said, "What about Mad Men?" Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't think Mad Men would make it because that was like a major, like, chauvinistic, you know, sex all over
the thing is, it wasn't. I mean, it was really based on. It wasn't like an original idea. I mean, granted, it kind of was, but it was based on that time period. That's just how the people were. So, in a way, it was like historically accurate.
Sure, yeah.
There's originality to it. So I do think that one would go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, look, I guess anytime there's attractive women and men on screen and there's, you know, sex happening, yeah, I'm sure that the views would be there.
I thought of one.
Okay, go.
Does anybody, actually I thought of 2. Does anybody remember the cartoon Johnny Bravo?
Yes, of course.
Johnny Bravo would not fly.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Hey there, mama. Yeah. Hey there, sexy lady.
It was basically Quagmire before Quagmire. But
wait a minute.
The groupies.
What about, think about this. What about the Powerpuff Girls, whenever they would call the governor and his secretary that they only showed from the neck down? From the neck down. And I mean, that was a secretary. She was full figured.
Talk about bosom buddies.
I also want to say that the Powerpuff Girls is basically a child's cartoon version of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right. But look, I did not shy away from. I love watching that. You know, you give me a little Mojo Go-Go or whatever it is. Yeah, Mojo Jojo. And then what was the pink fluffy one? No, the villain. He was looked like a bear, but he was pink.
Oh, yeah, I remember his name. The monkey thing.
Yeah.
I remember they tried to do live action.
And then, of course, the real bad person is they called him, and it was the devil.
Yeah.
Right? Him was the devil, but him looked like a woman in high heel boots and everything else, and even sounded like a woman when it talked. No, Mojo Jojo was the monkey. Fuzzy something. It was like a bear. It was like a pink bear or some shit like that. He was like, Anthony, we were actually going to get to Ren and Stimpy. It's on the list. Ren and Stimpy is on the list. And then I found out from Meg that Ren and Stimpy, there's a documentary on Netflix for it. So if you guys want to check out.
It's called Happy Happy Joy Joy.
Yeah. So you guys can check that out.
Hang on, I have it here. The plushy one was called Fuzzy Lumpkins.
Fuzzy Lumpkins. I knew it was Fuzzy. Yes, Fuzzy Lumpkins.
It kind of gives like Lotso Huggin' Bear.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
The other show I was thinking of, Baywatch.
Oh. Yeah. So they did the movie with The Rock, which was meh. It was okay.
I actually enjoyed that
okay.
movie with him and Zac Efron, right?
But that was what, 2017?
17.
Well,
Meg, how did you know that off the top of your head?
I kind of watch it a lot.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, hold on a second.
She does it for
Meg. I didn't hear.
She does it.
Oh shit, 2017. I was like,
she does it for Zacky Boy.
I went to the Internet Movie Database. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what you do, right? I mean, it's in your wheelhouse.
It is.
Dukes of Hazzard definitely out of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite show, man. I love that show.
yeah. Dukes of Hazzard definitely would make it. Mitchell,
well, especially with the Confederate flag being right on the car.
Exactly.
well,
The biggest
and
fan
they
of Bo Duke, man.
Well,
Yeah.
the Confederate flag. It's actually the battle flag of
they
Virginia.
wanted. They literally tried to cancel that guy. They have like a Dukes of Hazzard historical site wherever the show is like filmed, and they have like an antique place with an original General Lee there. They tried to like get them to shut down that whole thing and cancel the whole. They tried to cancel the whole thing.
Yeah.
There was a big thing on social media about it. Like a while back, he had to fight this whole situation. Pi said, "I don't see people taking offense on everything in real life. The thin-skinned internet culture doesn't live very long in an actual conversation." You're right.
They get offended by every little thing.
You're right. Yeah. And in real life, one-on-one or whatever it is, you're right. It's not that people won't be the same as they were behind a keyboard.
It gives people a newfound confidence.
Yeah.
I have one, but
There's
it's
a
not
quote by
because
Mike
of anything
Tyson.
politically incorrect. It's just because the change in society.
Mm-hmm.
Total Request Live.
Oh wow. From MTV, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Total Request Live. That's a
I
throwback.
race home every day, and I would always call
Carson Daly, right?
Carson Daly. I would
Daly.
call, vote for my favorite video, and yeah, that would never go by today.
That's when MTV actually played music videos still. They were still playing music videos at that time.
Yeah, and it wasn't ridiculous. Every 24/7.
And their competitor, VH1, actually, my favorite show was Pop-Up Video.
I was hoping you were going to say that. I
Loved
love
Pop-Up
that
Video, right? Pop-Up Video was a lot of fun. You learned a lot about, like,
stuck
it
in
was
my
just
head right now.
random shit that, like, you would learn about. Yeah, right? Pop-Up Video. But Ren and Stimpy, yes, correct. The 100% that cartoon would not cut it at all. 3 shows that are fairly, one is old. It's been, I think they even removed it off of Netflix, and now the only place you can watch it is HBO, I think, which would be Friends.
Well,
Friends.
yeah, that was because
Well, it was played like over.
I thought it was on Peacock because it was an NBC show.
It might still. I know the one and only place I've found it existing is HBO.
What is it?
Friends.
Friends. So I'm gonna recommend our app for everyone. If you want to know where any show or movie is streaming, whether you have to pay for it to rent it or it's on your streaming devices, it's an app, and if it's not available in the U.S. Or if it's not available outside the U.S., you can go to a website. It's called Just Watch.
Just watch.
There's another one called Real Good, also REE.
Real good.
That's the one I use. Yeah.
I've heard of
You
that
type
one.
in whatever you're looking for. So I'm typing in Friends right now, and yeah, you're right. HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO is. It's because
I was gonna say that, yeah. 'Cause I
Friends had been replayed. I forgot the number. I heard it one day on the radio when it was being removed from Netflix. Like that was like the big to do, and
remember
people
that,
fought
yeah.
it. People got so pissed off they were removing Friends from Netflix that they put it on for an additional year.
Yeah.
But it had like, I can't remember how many millions
Yeah, it was
of plays. It was absolutely. But now the people that are watching it now, because recently it's been getting kicked around that they want Friends canceled.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're talking about a show that was on every. I mean, that show had ratings, no matter what, every freaking week when it was on.
Watching the finale.
I mean, yeah, I watched the finale on a plane flight coming home. Yeah, yep. So like,
I probably watched that series through.
oh my god.
I probably watched it 8 times through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always in the background. You know?
Sure, that's
Like,
what
when
I
I'm
do.
relaxing at the end of the night before I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
I usually put it on.
That's what I do with How I Met Your Mother. It's kind of like something that I've probably watched 10, 12 times through, but I'll still put it on in the background because, you know, it's just a show that I think is hysterical. I find Barney Stinson absolutely hysterical because, like, to me, that was like one of my friends growing up. You know what I mean? Like,
I just want to say I love Pie's hot take, and I agree with it 1,000%.
what do we got?
Friends is not that good.
It is boring.
It has great moments.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. I quote Pivot at least once a day. 1,000%. I
Yeah.
quoted it in a meeting I was in
Yeah.
at work one day.
But there's like timeless episodes, the Thanksgiving one, the playing football outside, the turkey on the head.
Yep.
Like, you know, like there's the holiday ones are always like the real best one. You know, the
But
best one.
overall, it is a hard watch.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
You know what though? Isn't it funny that we talk about like Friends? It's like a good background show, How I Met Your Mother. But yet there's other shows that we've seen 10, 12 times where you will still sit in front of and watch full through, like, and not be background shows.
Mhm.
Yep. And mine is Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec,
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yep.
Community. Like, they're all just shows. As soon if I see them on, I'm done.
Yeah.
Sitting there watching it.
Yeah, I can watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, no problem. Any, you know, whatever.
I fell asleep watching Parks and Rec last night.
You
Anthony,
don't do that.
Oh,
Anthony-
yes, you can, because I have Peacock, and I've watched that from start to finish probably 8 times.
I don't care how many you watch. You do not fall asleep to Parks and Rec.
Oh, you can, absolutely.
That is a crime.
It is not a crime, because it's great, because you fall asleep watching it, and guess what? When you wake up, it's still on.
Mhm. Yep. Let me see. Anthony wrote, here's a joke for you. What's red and has 7 little dents in it? What's red, right? What's red and has
Yeah.
7 little dents in it? Snow White?
The red part.
I'm trying to think. But I get the 7 little dents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You look at my little demonstration?
Yeah, it was good. That sleeve of wizard? What was that?
Yeah, putting sleeves on.
Sleeves on. Anthony says that Carrie, which I mean is a movie, a horror movie. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do you think
What do you
Carrie?
guys think
See,
about
horror is different.
Sex in the City count?
Sex in the City.
No.
You don't think so? Gabby doesn't think it would make it right now.
Yeah, I don't think
Even
it's-
and they have a movie. Is it another movie or another TV show they're
There's been
doing?
a movie in the series. And
And
there's-
now
Uh,
there's the new show.
series.
They
There
look
isn't- There's like no sex. Well, there's barely any.
Yeah,
sex.
there is. There's sex.
they look
Yeah, but not nearly. I feel like it's not nearly as
just
much. as
worn
the
out.
Older show.
No, not as much, but there
You
is.
know.
But
They just look like. I mean, I'm sorry, but they to me they just look like old wrinkled laundry. I'm just like enough with your Sex in the City that you're not
I still
having
have to watch
anymore.
the trailer for the second season. Honestly.
You want some shoes? You want to hang out with Carrie and get some shoes? Okay.
We all want Carrie's closet.
Yeah. Carrie's
I
closet.
just want the shoes.
I just want the closet.
Yeah.
I just want the shoes.
All right, Renee, you have the shoes. I'll have the closet. We're good.
You know what show was also kind of fucked up, but only because of like one glaring fact, and that's Rocco's Modern Life.
Really?
The Nickelodeon show.
Chicken. Chunky chicken.
Pepper.
He was literally a phone sex operator
Yeah, you're right. That was his job.
in a children's show.
That was his job, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was his job.
in a children's show.
Heffa.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby.
A fucking wallaby is saying, "Oh baby, oh baby."
So monotone, and nobody gets it.
Yeah. What else? Seinfeld. Yeah, you're right. Seinfeld. Yeah, Seinfeld probably wouldn't make it.
Well, that's like I just recently rewatched the Shrek, the Shrek 1, 2, and I think 3. I think that's what it was. And in one of the Shreks, I don't remember which one it was. They had a allusion to O.J. Simpson, and it was like we got a white Bronco, fleeing at a high speed, and I was like, oh my god, did not catch that the first 8 times I watched it as a kid.
There was
Mhm.
a few things in the first track that they were like talking about, like so many adult jokes. Well, Disney's king of that. Throwing
Yeah,
adult jokes
yeah.
in children's movies.
Disney's king of a lot of things. I mean, there's so much stuff that people have released about Disney. There's
They
like
killed the
hidden images in different movies. And
Well,
stuff.
Nickelodeon. What's that one executive that is
Dan
like,
Schneider.
being canceled about his foot fetish?
He had
Really?
a massive foot. He would always have the girls in his shows involve something with their feet.
Their fucking
Yeah,
logo
massive
for a long
foot
time was an
fetish.
orange foot.
Yeah, orange foot. Yeah, you're right. It was an
Yeah.
orange splat foot. Wow.
Like he would have the girls either like taking off their socks or having them pick up something with their feet or massaging their feet. There was always a foot scene a couple times in each season.
iCarly, Carly and Sam. There was like a whole thing where they had their feet, and it was like their bare feet, and they were fucking like with spaghetti and shit like that.
Yeah, it was like a close up shot of
Yeah.
of their feet.
Gross.
My man was the #1 subscriber to like Fun and Feet and some shit like
Feetfinder.com.
onlyfeet.com.
So we know what he types in his search bar.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Mitchell agrees that Dan Snyder was horrible. Pi says I can watch SVU at any time of the day. It's one of those things, but only if it has Daddy. I mean Danny. Richard Belzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year,
Start
I
to
got
munch.
to work an event with Ice.
Munchie.
Oh my god, the stories he would tell us about the show.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I know, like Renee, it's too far for you, but oh my god, guys, we need to find a way to get on set or be at the set. Just watching them film,
Mhm.
the stories were phenomenal.
I'm sure. Oh, fun fact: Ice-T and I believe his wife and somebody else, a rapper or designer, something like that, had breakfast at one of the places that we go to, like about 15 minutes from where we live.
That's awesome.
When it was Ice-T,
Shark Tank guy.
the Shark Tank guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was a rapper for some reason. I don't know why.
Like, he's a rapper.
Well, Ice-T's a rapper, yeah, but I thought he was with another rapper.
Oh.
But yeah,
What restaurant was it?
Damon.
Damon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the guy that created Fubu.
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 Remember that clothing line?
Yeah, Fubu.
Fubu.
Fubi.
Fubu.
No, that's what you were groping earlier.
The movie Notting Hill keeps showing
Really?
close-ups of people.
That's crazy.
naked
I
feet.
watch Notting Hill often. I have never noticed.
Yeah, you watch Notting Hill like religiously.
I love that movie.
Close-ups of people's feet.
Okay. If we're, you know what, we're gonna go to another medium. Video games.
Mm.
I am a huge Mass Effect fan. It is
Wait.
Okay,
Are you
let's do it one more time.
huge.
Are you
huge?
Are you huge?
Huge.
Huge. It's huge.
In Mass Effect 2, there is a character by the name of Miranda Lawson.
Oh my god, yeah.
Miranda wears a skin tight, one piece, white
Like
suit.
like what's her name wears in Black Widow.
Yes,
Hmm.
exactly like that, but white.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of camera angles
No,
in
sure.
cutscenes.
She wears a white one in the Black Widow story.
Yeah,
Or origin one.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like in the cinematics and the cutscenes like that zoomed in of her breasts and her ass.
Uh-huh.
And when they did the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, which included Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, all of a sudden
They were removed.
those shots are not there
They're
anymore.
not there anymore.
Uh-huh.
All right. Back to
Interesting.
video games. First one. It's a whole series. Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry. Wow, I haven't heard that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Next
shit.
one. It's a PS2 game. Playboy the Mansion.
Oh yeah, I remember
I
that.
actually didn't know that existed.
Yeah. You have that game. She walks around as Hugh all day long.
That you actually play as like Hugh Hefner. Oh,
I mean, look,
yeah.
if you're gonna talk video games, I mean, you gotta go and with like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a game that like pulls no punches.
Yeah.
Where you can beat up a hooker, you can rob her, you can kill everything.
What, Meg?
If it came out now for the first time, yes.
Yeah.
But because they cemented themselves so many
Right.
years ago,
Right.
it's just like with like, we were talking about South Park. They
Mhm.
still got away with it now.
Yeah.
BMX Triple X.
Really?
It was like a really badly BMX game where the girls were in like really skimpy bikinis, and there was a code that you could make them naked.
Oh. Well, look, online
I
gamers.
never did it.
There's a lot of online gamers that play like the horror ones. I don't even know the name of the games. I have no idea what they're playing. But I'll be scrolling down my feed because I follow certain people that play like The Last of Us or whatever. They, Facebook likes to give you suggestions, and I'm sitting there, and someone, I think it was like a reboot or a remake or something of oh my god, Resident Evil.
Oh, the new one is 4, yeah.
And there's like just some girl, she's running around with like tape like on her parts, and that's it. Like she just has like tape. Like someone, they go and they do whatever codes or
Dude, if it gets cold, that tape's coming off.
Well, we talked. So
I'm canceling myself.
no, we got Married with Children. Married with Children and How I Met Your Mother as the last 2 shows. Yeah. You guys done? Is the turkey done? Little poppers on the turkeys when they're done cooking?
Wait, you said How I Met Your Mother. What was the other one you said?
Married with Children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan gave, I think, Married with Children.
Yeah, well, because there was the one episode I was watching, and he was insulting one of the customers at the shoe store, and she goes, "Sir, I have never," and he goes, "What? Going on a diet? Yes, we can all see that." You know what I mean? Like shit like that would not be acceptable.
Yeah, Al Bundy is a legend. He threw 7 touchdowns in a game. Like, I mean, it's Al Bundy. What are you gonna do?
If it was made today, not because it's been on for so long, but if it was made today, The Simpsons.
Yeah. Like the original, yeah, you're right. Like they tried doing that right now. You know what? You know what I'm surprised does fairly well still is Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Well, especially because
I feel like that's a cult following.
Well, there's also a whole controversy about the guy who created Rick and Morty and how he's actually he's a pedophile and. Look it up and go down that rabbit hole. I promise, but it's there. There's it was a lot of things
Didn't
that
he
people
officially leave the show though, and they're still going to
for the new season. He officially left the show.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like the people who like Rick and Morty are like, well, he was probably, I hate to say it, but he was probably one of the good things about the show.
Yeah.
It sucks that he's a horrible human being, but at the same time, he may have been what made that show. You don't know.
Yeah.
You'll find out this season.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, season 3, episode 10. I can quote that episode all day long. It's the day where they fight the president.
Well, it's like what happened with Community. They fired the showrunner, and then they had the really bad season, and then they brought him back, and the show got good again.
Yeah.
It's still not as good as the original season.
The Office of Michael Scott and all the jokes. Yeah, The Office.
Yeah.
You're right.
Think of that.
Yeah, The Office.
That's another one of my background shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched that through so many times.
Yeah.
I know there's more.
Pi said Grand Theft Auto with Stephen Ogg. Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays one of the characters. He plays
Trevor.
Trevor. Yeah, Trevor.
There's actually so I still play GTA Online with my buddies, and I didn't know this was in the game. I don't know at what point this was added to the game, but it was added to the game at some point. And so, what's cool is they actually added the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It's called the Deluxo, and it flies. And so it's like my favorite car, and I fly around, and I'm just flying around the map. Well, apparently on the hill, in one of the regions of San Andreas, there is a hippie camp. And if you go there, they're all high as a kite. And so they didn't like that I was there, so they started shooting at me. So I shot one of them. And I'm like, is he not wearing clothing? So then I go there, and he had an anatomically correct penis.
Wow.
And it wasn't blurred out or anything. It was there. And I was like, oh.
This is San Andreas?
Yeah, no, GTA 5.
Oh,
GTA
okay.
Online.
Okay.
What,
Go
Meg?
to the cult camp. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
A cult camp.
The Alturist cult camp or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is, I feel like, a tricky one.
That's a gray area.
Yeah.
No, Mitchell, I completely agree with you on that. But I think that people also need to realize that if you fail to support a project just because of one person, you're not hurting just one person. You're hurting other people too.
That's the whole thing with Hogwarts Legacy.
I was just gonna bring it up. Yes, I understand that J.K. Rowling has said some not so great things. I get it.
Right.
I don't condone what she said, but there are other people that are involved, people whose livelihood this is. I
lost a friend over this.
I have to
sacrificing one person, hurting other people to me is not okay.
I have to make a
I don't-
confession. Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
And I'm going to sound really stupid, I'm sure.
But
So I watched, like all the movies and stuff. I was forced to sit down and watch them all. Never picked up a
he's not
book.
pointing blame at all.
Yeah, never picked up a book. Didn't really, whatever. Movies were good. I watched them one time all the way through, but I had no idea that J.K. was a woman. I had no idea.
That doesn't sound dumb at all.
Yeah, I thought it was a dude. With the name J.K. Rowling, I thought it was a dude.
Yeah.
Does not
Makes
sound
sense.
dumb at all.
Okay, well, whatever. So yeah, until he just said she, I was literally like, what? You said she, and I turned and went, fuck.
See, if she was like Stephanie Meyer, who wrote the Twilight novels, she'd be in her own movies because Stephanie
She's
was a
only in the
cameo.
first one.
She
And
was in
a wedding guest in 4.
yeah. She was in the diner in the first one,
Yeah, and then she played a wedding guest in
in the fourth one, yeah. Or
I said the
fourth one.
whole Harry Potter franchise has been squeezed so dry already.
And yet they're making a show. And
Yeah,
they continue making
See,
Lego sets of it.
I agree with the game aspect of it. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely.
I even played the mobile game, Hogwarts Mystery, whatever the fuck it's called. It's a lot of fun. But do we really need another show? Do we need a show to expand upon it? No. And
I like the
you're
idea of
redoing it.
Hogwarts, though, because it's before the whole Harry Potter thing.
What I want is a TV show of the 4 founders of Hogwarts.
that sounds interesting.
I would love to see, Salazar Slytherin,
The OGs.
yeah, exactly.
The OGs.
Helena Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and
Origin story.
Yeah, origin story.
Godric Gryffindor. There we go. I knew all 4.
Well, that's why I'm really excited for the new Hunger Games movie, because it's like an origin story.
Yeah, it looks really
Other than
good.
day
The
one.
trailer looks phenomenal.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And it takes place 10... it's the 10th Hunger Games.
This is why I'm confused, because in some
Okay.
parts of the trailer, it acted like they were just creating the Hunger Games. And then they were saying 10 years. So it's like, are we just going to fast forward 10 years?
It would also be very hard for it to be the first one. I know exactly what you're saying, Meg, because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book yet, but I also was confused because the movie is about the Hunger Games and all that, and it's about President Snow before he's President
Right.
Snow. But if it was the first one, think back to Hunger Games. They were at the 75th Hunger Games
Mm-hmm.
By the second game.
by the second movie. So that would have made
Movie, yeah.
President Snow in his 90s,
Yeah.
which to
I mean,
me
he
is
was really
confusing.
old when,
That's assuming that he's at least 18.
Wow.
and it's okay. I get it. Okay, I get it now.
So that's why for me it would be confusing if it was the first one. But I thought also it was the first one from the trailer.
Well, see, I think what they're going to do is, I think this is just based off the trailer. I think they're going to start in the beginning stages, and then maybe just a quick thing of how it started, and then go into the 10th
Mhm.
to like show like its progression early era.
Yeah,
And then that's when we meet like 18-year-olds now.
that's what I would have wanted. I would have wanted the fall of America and the start of
Yeah.
Panem.
Like, why do we have these districts?
Yeah, and I mean, if you read the books, there's some canonical backstory to it.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see it fleshed out in real time and actually see like essentially the civil war that broke out in America
Mm-hmm.
that made Panem in the 13 districts.
When the movie comes out, can we please do a deep dive into this?
Have you read the book?
No, I'm waiting. I'm that person where I have to watch the movie first before
Oh,
I can
I have to read the book first, then watch the movie.
I'm
But
a very visual person.
yeah, well, I am too. That's why I have to read it first, so that I can make up my own mind and then see
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
I've had a big conversation about this too.
yeah. So I'm excited because I want to read it again before the movie comes out to have it fresh.
Okay, so then without spoiling anything, like now you've heard Ryan and I with our different takes, like do they kind of really show the origin of it, or is it mainly about like the 10th anniversary?
It's Snow's story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's that. I think that's the easiest way to answer it.
No,
Okay.
that's a perfect description right there with those few words.
I'm not. My son and I, we're really into this, and we're very excited. And we watched the trailer. We are not happy with the casting of Snow.
I'm not fond of it. I'm not.
Yeah, who is it?
He's supposed to be. This guy looks too confident. This guy looks too affluent. He looks too. Yeah, I'm not keen. But
I read like the backstory of the character from the books. I knew I wasn't going to read it, but I agree they did not match it well.
Mm-hmm. And maybe he'll do great, once I'm into it and stuff. But just watching the trailer and seeing him, not the girl who plays Lucy. I'm really excited. She looks great. She looks like what I think she should. And I loved. Did you watch the trailer? You said she does that bow, and that
yes, I was so excited to see that.
So I was like, that is so awesome.
That's like one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's like, thanks.
Mhm.
So,
Tom Blythe is the guy that's playing Snow, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and I saw he was in something. I was like, oh, he was in. I gotta look at it. It was like a period piece that I watched.
Interesting.
Oh, it's the Gilded Age. He's in the Gilded, but he has dark hair in that. It's I don't know. I like my period dramas,
Yeah.
But he has dark hair in that, so I was like, his face kind of looked familiar, like not place him. So then I googled him. I'm like, that's where I've seen him. So yeah.
I got thrown off with the trailer because when I first saw it, I was paying attention, but I wasn't. At first, I thought it was Austin Butler.
Oh,
and I was like, wait a minute, he's too.
Yeah, or maybe you said that to me. Somebody said that, yeah. And I love who is the Flickerman in this one? Who
Stanley Tucci.
No, not in this one. It would be his grandfather.
Right, yeah. I thought Stanley Tucci was playing the grandfather role, and they just aged him.
It's he looks. Oh,
I'm on it.
I'm googling it. But
Everyone's googling.
Googling
Everyone's googling. Usually the chat pulls it up. Someone in the chat usually spits it out first.
There you go.
We don't have Linda tonight. That's the problem.
Oh yeah.
Linda knows everything.
Yeah, the Man Show.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know what?
Schwartzman.
The Man Show was done
He
by
looks like
two of like the biggest.
You know what?
Well,
Yeah. Okay. Now I
Adam
see. It
Carolla.
was just a quick glimpse.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
maybe
don't know if Adam Carolla's a
okay,
liberal,
that's a perfect casting.
but Kimmel is.
It's so
Oh,
good.
Jimmy Kimmel's a huge lib
When
now.
I saw his name pop up, I was wondering how
Yeah,
he would fit into it.
Well,
But now it makes
I'm not
so
gonna
much
help out.
sense.
Oh.
I'm more excited.
yeah.
That's not the type of role he usually plays.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. Yeah. So anyway, I was excited about that.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm gonna watch each movie each day leading up to.
Yeah, I just watched it before they took them off Netflix. So
I have the steelbooks. Well, the steelbooks are packed away, but I have the digital codes.
Yeah.
Those. And then I'm super excited because you guys might laugh at this one. I love the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
It's my favorite franchise. I am so ready, but I am going to cry. I know it.
What pissed me off was in the trailer was Jason Momoa, and he threw like the fucking the detonator. Boom! I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you cheesy ass motherfucker.
I'm telling you, I watched the
Trying to
clip.
do the
I
slow
shared
walk
it on my
away, you
Instagram
know?
stories recently. This role was made for Momoa because he in the clips he was 90% Jason and like 10% his character.
Mhm.
Like it was just perfect. Just, like the mannerisms. I can't wait. He's
My
gonna
thing
be,
is-
I guarantee he's not going to die at the end of this, and he's going to be the villain in the next one too.
My thing is, how many big names do you need now?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Vin Diesel, we've got John Cena, we've got fucking Jason Momoa, we've got Jason Statham, we've got obviously the crew and everybody, and I'm like, but when is enough enough?
I think what's going to happen is it's going to kind of be an Infinity War Endgame situation. They're going to lose.
Well, it's a 2-part movie, right?
Yeah, it's a 2-part movie. And like Michelle Rodriguez has kind of alluded that like something happens and it's never happened before, and like the fans are going to be like outraged.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel like they're going to lose, and then in the final movie they're going to get redemption and call it a day.
I says, are you dissing Jason?
No,
Momoa?
I'm dissing the writers. There's a difference.
Yeah, that whole like
I love Jason Momoa all the way back to Stargate Atlantis.
that whole slow walk away explosion thing going on behind you is so
tired of it.
overdone, overplayed.
I did love the scene in the trailer though, where he's like, "What are we gonna blow up? Oh, the Vatican? You're going to hell." You know what I mean?
So before we wrap up, Renee, do we have any TWD news? Anything that you've been doing recently? Anyone amazing
been
new?
So many like Walking Dead actors who have been cast and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like if you go to undeadwalking.com, I've been writing everything up that I can find. Josh Hamilton, who played Lance Hornsby, he is getting cast in a whole bunch of stuff. It's
Good for him.
You went to say Lance Armstrong.
I almost said that. Yeah. And there's a series called Accused, and
That's with
Ridloff has been in it. Ian Anthony Dale, who played Dr. Tommy,
Mhm.
and then Josh Hamilton was in it, and then Keith Carradine, who was in Fear the Walking Dead, he is on the next episode.
Okay.
So we've had a bunch of Walking Dead in that. I mean, there's just like a ton of. I'm trying to think. Avi Nash is going to be in this new series. It sounds really good. It's going to be on Apple TV. It's called Silo. And it's kind of a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one looks really
Yeah,
good.
it does.
And so they live in this silo underground,
Yep.
way underground, but they don't know why.
Hmm.
So they want to find out why and all this kind of stuff. But Avi Nash is in that.
Okay.
It's also and since it's Star Wars Day, let's bring it into Star Wars. Xander Berkeley,
Yeah. Xander.
Yeah.
the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was.
Somebody posted.
I did not recognize him
I know.
until I saw Xander post a picture, and he was like, "Oh, so happy to be part of another big franchise or whatever the hell it was." I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah, I saw the picture he posted today. He's what is he, a general or
Yeah, he's one of the remnants of the Empire,
Okay.
the Shadow Legion, Shadow Council.
Okay.
And Mitchell said that Layla Robbins is in the season finale with Keith Carradine.
Oh.
So she was
Pamela.
Yes, Pamela. She was. So they're both in the
That's
season finale. So that's cool.
I started rewatching Walking Dead just 'cause, like, I know I've rewatched the later seasons, but since we have a lot of the OGs from coming to the camp, I thought it was a good time to revisit it. And I know I've always said season 2 is my favorite. I forgot how golden season 1 was, and how different the walkers were.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Season 1 through like 3, 4, I
Yeah.
could probably binge it.
4, yeah.
I could probably 1 through 4.
Yeah.
I could binge, no problem.
It's pretty much when they left
Where
the
did
prison for me.
I
That
didn't
kind of.
watch last night because I played games.
Herschel dies. You know?
I stopped at the episode where at the end where Glenn found out the walkers were in the barn.
Mhm.
So I can't wait to go back and finish it because episode 213 is still my favorite episode of all
He's
time.
in a show too right now called it's a series. Revenge?
Beef.
No, Beef.
Beef.
Yeah, I knew it was like
Yeah.
Revenge or Beef or something. Yeah.
I know telling us to watch it for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Seriously, you guys have got to watch that. If you have not watched
2 episodes.
it is. I couldn't even stop. Josh kept wanting. He's like, "Oh, we gotta stop." I'm like, "No, one more episode." I could not stop watching it because it was very unexpected. It was not what I expected at all, and it was phenomenal. Just loved it.
I need to get back into Saint X with Alicia.
Yeah, and I haven't started that one yet. I really want to see that.
What's it called?
Watched
Saint
the first
what?
episode. So there was 3 episodes that started, and then episode 4 came out like yesterday, I think.
What's it called? Saint
Saint X.
Saint.
It kind of
Okay.
gives massive, like, remember the Natalie Holloway when she died, like back in like 2000 something.
Mhm.
Like she was on her senior trip.
Oh yeah.
And she never came home.
Yeah,
It
that's
gives,
what. Yeah,
even though this is based on a book, it gives massive Natalie Holloway vibes.
like the
And so
family.
many people.
Family is like on vacation, and the girl just comes up missing, and they just say it's an accident. But the sister grows up and just can't let it go, and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then returns, and everything. But yeah, it looks really really good. And then so everything. So they haven't said. AMC has made no announcements about these second seasons. I think I talked about this probably the last time we were on, but the one actress, she plays a girl named Jenny in Dead City, and she was in an interview recently, and she said that she is scheduled to go back to New York City before the end of the year to film season 2 of Dead City. And Daryl Dixon, he's back in France. They have been doing casting calls. And again, AMC has said nothing, but they're filming. Everything points to the fact that they are filming the second season of Daryl Dixon already as well.
Wow.
Interesting.
But I don't know why AMC isn't announcing anything. So yeah, so I guess
Would they be reshoots or retake?
I don't know because they announced wrap. Deadpool's done. It's coming out in June, so it's done.
Okay.
But then Daryl Dixon, they announced that it was wrapped. But then, because everybody went on vacation, and Norman Reedus and Diane Kruger, they went to Costa Rica with their family and all this stuff, and they announced that it was done. And then these casting calls and stuff, and it was French publications, but you Google Translate, and you can read what it says, and they're casting. It says for season 2.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say webisodes, but since it said that,
it's saying season 2, and then there was a stuntman, and of course it was in French, but you can translate it, and just throw it in the translator. It's there, and he's saying filming for season 2.
Wow.
So
okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what plays out with that. But that's what it's looking like. And
that's interesting that they're filming a second season for both shows, and it's ahead of it being released. That's very
but I know Gimbal has said, as long as these do well, they have lots of other things in the works. They've announced. So, Tales of Walking Dead, they haven't announced the second season, but they've announced a short form series called More Tales of the Walking Dead. So they're not. That's all they said about it. It's just a short form series. So they don't know is this whether it's going to be a second season or if it's going to be something. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be similar, but is it going to be? They just didn't give a lot of information. The press release was just that's literally all the information they gave. So it didn't say much of anything with that either. So so we'll just wait and see. But they've got a lot of things that they'd like to do if these series, but it sounds like Rick and Michonne. It sounds like that will be one season. And I know.
How could they make it more than one though? Honestly.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. But I just mean
people are gonna be pissed off no matter what.
What?
People are gonna be pissed off no matter what.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But I think everybody's thinking because they all do these 3 movies, then why are we only getting one season kind of thing?
Right.
That's the thing. But it's things change because AMC, they re-finagled all their execs and whatever, and they just decided to go in a different direction. So, that happens.
But also, if you think about it, right, movies average, 2 hours roughly?
Yeah.
So 6 hours.
6 episodes, 3,
If anything, it lines up.
3 movies. Yeah.
With the way television is nowadays, it's, Walking Dead, prime example. Not all the episodes are 45 minutes plus commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they go an hour 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could technically still work.
Yeah. And who's to say? Yeah. I mean, it's just hard to say. I mean, and I think, with Denai, she left the series because she wants to do all these other things. She's been doing stage. She's been producing. She's been doing, she's got all these other things she's doing. I think she's really, kind of done with The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? And she's doing this because, finish out that story.
I mean, look at the point that where they actually do that show, I think I'm gonna be done with The Walking Dead. It's just just do it, get it over and done with it.
I hate to say it, but I'm dreading watching Fear the Walking Dead. It's been so hard for me to watch it that I don't remember shit that happened the last 2 seasons.
My thought with Fear is it can't be worse than 7. It cannot be worse than 7.
Yeah,
that's
my thought process here.
Go out with a bang.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be a 7-year time jump. So there's a lot they could do with that. And I'm just trying to be positive here, guys, because I have to watch it. And
I talked with you. Yeah, Madison's back now. So
I said, is Fear still on? What a question mark. I can't even keep up. Pi said
I knew
it's.
the answer to that one. That was starting trouble.
Mitchell said the trailer for it already looks better than 7.
Exactly. Yeah. Agree. So I'm trying, but and there is a lot that they hopefully will do with this last season, and they say they're wrapping everyone's stories should be wrapped, whatever, whether they're using that as a kind of thing to say there won't be any and no spin-offs with these characters. I don't know. But it's hard to say what that is. But
you know what? This doesn't have to do with Walking Dead news, but it's something I found out recently, and I don't know if it's something that everybody knew and I'm just late to the game, or if some people didn't know. Not episode, season 5, when Rick Michonne are in Alexandria and they become like constables or whatever. I didn't know this, but their badges say Commonwealth.
Hmm.
I don't know that.
I don't know. And I don't know why they say that, but
I'm like, where's the tie-in?
Yeah.
There's so many questions.
Well, you know, it's funny. We're talking about things in society that have changed over the years, right? And one thing that really irritates me that's changed, and it's obviously not for the better, but in my opinion, the suspense is no longer there. We reveal so many things in trailers. We spoil so much in teaser trailers and promos and shit like that nothing is a surprise anymore. And, you know, I go back to, like, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You know, there's a scene where he's, like, there's, like, shards of reality breaking. And if you look in one of them, you could see, like, you know, Captain Carter's shield, you know, and, like, and all this other shit that, like, that got spoiled for us. Like, Patrick Stewart coming back with his voice in the trailer. And, you know, he sat there and he was like, that's not me. And I'm like, bullshit. I know your voice anywhere. And
Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man.
Exactly. And people were leaking. And it was so impossible to not see it. It was so impossible to avoid it. But there was the scene where you see, who was it that from Spider-Man that you see him getting punched, and they removed, you see his chin up, and he's clearly getting hit. And I'm just like, that alone right there was proving that they were hiding something. And it was fueling the Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire are going to be in it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they kept playing off that it wasn't. But everybody, that was like the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
Yeah, they were seen filming. Like,
yeah.
It's like...
There was a scene where Andrew Garfield's holding onto some scaffolding.
Yeah. And it's a scene where they were bonding.
Yeah. And it, like, for me, like, there used to be surprises, especially, like, if you go back to, like, the original, like, the early Marvel movies, the shit that happened in there were surprises.
Yeah.
Like, shit that you didn't expect. And nowadays, everything's fucking ruined.
They just gotta... They're trying to get people to latch on. And
100%.
Like, but... Yeah, I feel like
the things that bonds us is the things that ruin us.
Yeah, too much is, you know...
The last good surprise that came from, like, a movie or a TV show was Captain America catching Mjolnir in Endgame.
Yeah. Because you were waiting for that to happen because of the comic book. Yeah, you were waiting for the comic book.
But there was nothing spoiled to say that it was happening.
Sure, right.
There was nothing that inclined. There was no Mattel action figure that had the fucking promo. Like,
well, Lego usually spoils it every year. Like, Lego is not for nothing, but they usually spoil, like, a character look or a character costume, whatever.
And, and Captain America catching Mjolnir was the loudest pop in a movie theater I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, that and when he said, I am Iron Man.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Nothing will ever compare to that movie experience.
Yeah. If you watch that with hundreds of other people, absolutely.
You know, it's probably, I like surprises. I like that satisfaction you get from a surprise that you didn't expect. And it fulfills some kind of, like, nostalgia, you know, some kind of whatever satisfaction inside of you. I miss that. And it sucks going into a movie, and I no spoilers for this, but I just got back from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. My favorite of the trilogy. I loved this movie. It was so good that I'm considering going back and watching it again. The post-credits thing were trash. Absolutely trash. They did nothing for the future of the MCU. And that's what the point of the post-credit scenes were. It almost never had anything to do with the movie it came from. It always had to do with a future project that was coming out or something that we didn't know was coming out. And we talked about it in the pre-show. But they shifted away from that. And then they also shifted towards trailers. Like, why are we using post-credits and mid-credit scenes for trailers?
Right.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness had a horrible post-credit. It was the one with Bruce Campbell.
Yes.
Like, I'm not a Bruce Campbell fan. I'm sorry. But that was such a pointless post-credit trailer.
I'll leave it off at this one, but, like, the last good one I can really remember, and it came from a shitty movie. I mean, not shitty movie. The movie was good, but The Eternals wasn't great. But the ending with the spoilers bringing on the Black Knight, right?
Yep.
And then
Kit Harington.
the new with Kit Harington, and then the new Blade.
Yep.
because I am really looking forward to a Blade reboot. Because Blade's what really put Marvel on the map.
Well, especially now that we have like Morbius and shit like that, so having Blade like a fucking vampire hunter, you know what I mean? It's fucking cool, you know?
Yeah, but though, like to me, that was like the last really good like lead up to something new coming. You know,
I would also argue that what movie was it that had the post credit scene with Venom, and he's sitting in the he's sitting in the room in the resort.
That was the end of the second Venom, wasn't it? Or no, the end of
Yeah, it was Let There Be Carnage, wasn't it?
Yeah, Let There Be Carnage, I think it was.
And that's when you saw Tom Holland Spider-Man on the TV.
It was Spider-Man.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah. It was Spider-Man. Yeah, because I saw it in
yeah.
theaters 3 times, so I had to sit through that scene 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what the future brings.
Well, Mitchell, that's because of James Gunn. That's James Gunn's fault, so you can blame him.
I'm mad at James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn is a traitor.
But I will say that if you have not watched it, I will recommend this over and over again. Superman and Lois on CW is probably the best DC show that CW has ever had, and that includes Arrow and Flash. I love those shows. But if you go back and watch it, Bitsy Tulik, who plays Lois Lane, and Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Clark Kent Superman, probably the best representation of both characters I've ever seen.
Interesting.
They just nail it, and I think they're doing a great job. And you know, there's 2 Walking Dead alum on the show now. There's Chad Coleman, who plays Bruce Mannheim, and there's Michael Kulitz, who's playing Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
we have not yet seen Lex Luthor. We've seen a spoiler of Lex Luthor, but I will say Chad Coleman is doing a phenomenal job as Bruce Mannheim, especially in the latest episode. Very emotional, very good. I don't know how I feel about Michael Kulitz playing Lex Luthor.
Yeah, we've talked about it when
the
pictures of him popped up.
Yeah, just probably the same way I feel about what's his name playing Lex Luthor in
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, him.
How did I know you were going to say that? I'm not a fan of Jesse, so that
if you pick up any Superman comic book that has Lex Luthor in it, in no way does he look like Lex Luthor.
No. Honestly, for me, my favorite Lex Luthor is Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville.
He was actually a very good young Lex Luthor. He did a great job as a young Lex Luthor. But then so did what's his name that played Clark. Can't remember his name right now, and I'm gonna be pissed I don't remember it. I don't remember. Smallville was a great show.
Well,
Fear the Walking Dead premieres on AMC Plus May 11th, and then AMC on May 14th. So we'll probably be back after that.
Yeah,
so that's 2 weeks from now.
We'll try to do or we'll try to do something right after the camp. We'll try to maybe if I don't know if we can lock down something, maybe we can do something while we're at the camp. Who knows? You know, we'll see what our capabilities are and what kind of technology we have. But hope you guys enjoyed the little May 4th thing.
Tom Welling.
Okay then.
Clark Kent.
It was fun. I enjoyed doing this little.
It was different.
Just little geek out thing that we got going on. So
good.
Guys, it was great seeing you. See you all in like 2 weeks, I guess, or whatever. 22 days, 20-some days. Mitchell, see you soon. Pi, you won't be there, but we'll see you here online.
You'll be there in
Ready
spirit.
for my golf cart.
You'll be there in spirit, yes. Anthony did say, I did see in the chat that he was going to try to do a premiere for...
Well, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, he was thinking about doing a Dead City thing, so keep your eyes out on his page. He is on Twitter. I think does he still have the page up? The viewing party page, right? No? Oh, okay. So,
Twitter.
Anthony, you'll have to drop some info for everybody if it's something you're still kicking around. But other than that, can't wait to see a lot of you guys soon. And the ones that we don't see, we'll see you guys on here when we come back. Stay posted. We'll see what we can do for you guys. Hopefully, you never know. Maybe we could do something from the camp. We'll see what our capabilities are when we get there. Other than that, stay safe. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Hey, Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Whoa, hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry and subscribe and like if you can, please, or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.